Hey there, Andrew Anderson, and today we're going to be doing some venison and some organic hamburger, ground beef. Here we go. And I hadn't planned on filming this, but I figured why not, right? So I had the cast iron skillet here. Let me see if we can do this nice and easy. Heating up for a while now. And then we'll just make sure this is good. You want to put your oil in after you get going. So I've had this on a little bit above medium. I'm going to turn it on low for a minute. And then let me get out the venison here. Got some ground venison. Wild game, keep frozen. There you go. So should be able to see that. I'm going to take half of this. I'm going to make one patty with just plain venison. And then the other one we're going to take and I'm going to mix it up with half and half hamburger. I don't know how much beef the butcher put in here. Let me see if we can do this. We got tomatoes over here. Those are not mine, but anyway, so we're just gonna cut this in half here roughly. It looks pretty good. All right, you're gonna see, well, they did put some fat in there, so that's good. So you can tell that I was overly prepared for this. We're gonna move this back. Let's do a non-edited version here. We got the bowl. We're gonna do this stuff here so you can see what the heck's going on. Highly technical. This is one of the things. So I'm Andrew Anderson with IQ Marketers, is my main company. We're an agency, iqmarketers.com. But this is for the longer crowbar, where I get to discuss pretty much everything: health, wealth, and relationships. So that's about it. So what you can see here, so that's it. We're just gonna take this. I like seasoning this after the fact, not necessarily. Doesn't smell that bad. So this is, by the feel of it, if you've never had venison before, it's a little bit tougher. So we're gonna make that fairly thin. And then we've got this much in here. So I'm gonna take about 3/4 of our hamburger in here, which I warmed up a little bit in warm water. So we've got pretty much equal parts here. And then we're just gonna mix this up. Hopefully we're in frame here. There we are. And I am hoarse today. I've been talking all day. I don't know about you, but it's a good day. It's a hump day. All right, so we're good there. And if you want to put any seasonings in there, you know what about the only thing that I like in here? Because I want to take the flavor of it. But I'm doing mostly carnivore, like 98% these days. So I go off on a little bit on spices. I like them in there. You know, some people say it makes a difference, but you got to do your own thing, right? So what I like that does a really good job of just bringing out some flavor of anything here is good old Lowry's. And I don't like the off-brands. I just found that they don't do very well. And probably maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon in there. Just mix this up. And we're going to come back over, we'll make our patties. You've never seen that before, right? All right, and we're mixed up good enough. I'm making an oblong patty here. I found out that in the pan, I can make these thinner and cook them when they look more like a football, or an oblong, or whatever you want to call this. Here. And you want to make sure that you get it fairly. You can make them as thin as you want or thick as you want, but I like them only about a 1/2 inch thick because they will puff up in the middle. And I make sure I press down in here. And hopefully, I was out in the garden. Hopefully I got my cans clean. Clean enough, right? As my grandmother used to say, you need to eat a peck of dirt to stay healthy, right? So we've got that there. I'm gonna make one more here. And I should have room in the pan for all these. We're going to find out momentarily. All right. Hope you're having a good day. Man, the golden age is coming. Holy moly. I know the economy may not seem like it, but if you remember what happened last time, the orange man was in, it flipping rocked. And the economy was gutted. It had to be on purpose. You don't do stuff that stupid for, but it's going to come back bigger and better than ever. So all of you small businesses out there, I salute you for getting up every day, employing people, getting on the grind. Some of you know what it is to work 7 days a week. We're going to put these in here. And let me rinse my hand up here. God only knows how long this thing's going to be. I got to get a paper towel here. I don't want to get stuff. And we're going to do some highly technical. There we go. And so we've got that in there. Crank this up a little bit past high. I mean medium rather. And look at that. Let's see here. This won't have a tendency to hang held together as much. Just fits. So we'll do some. There we go. Look at that. And I've turned it up to there. We've got the Wagyu going. It's 513-ish, 512, whatever the clock's. Not necessarily seamless accurate here. So we're just going to let those sit. I'll probably time lapse these so you don't have to watch them cook as I wash my hands here. I'll have my handy dandy editor fast forward, and she will put a transcription on here too. So here's a hint for all you business people. Your video views will go way up because most people, 85% of all people, do not have the sound on when they're looking at social media. Simply because, well, it used to be because they're at work, but the second reason now is even when they're working from home, it gets annoying. So if you have transcriptions on, you're going to get more viewers. So I put about a teaspoon of Wagyu. I've had this one for quite a while. South Chicago packing, great stuff. Works wonderful, tastes great. If you're into French fries and stuff, try something in that. I usually use that or duck fat. Tallow's good. And of course we've got, I'm going to put some fat, some tallow on the top of this. There we go. And we're good. Just smush this around a little bit. You know, I like playing with my food. I don't know about you, but. And luckily I had both my grandmothers were great cooks. So was my mom, and so is my dad, believe it or not. So anyway, we're going to let this go. Let me see if I can pause this without turning this thing off here. And we'll come back when I flip them over, and I'll show you. We're 7 minutes into it, and I fibbed. These aren't a ½ inch thick now. They're probably about an inch thick. So there you go. Just want to put that in. It's 5:20. We started at 5:13, so we're 7 minutes in. Probably let this go to 8 to 9 minutes per side, and then I'll check here in a few minutes and I'll show you. Okay, we're at about 8 minutes on these sides. We should have a nice light brown. You can flip them more often. The old thing, wise tale about not flipping meat, you actually cook more even because it distributes the heat. You got a nice little brown crust there. It's not too much. And then we'll flip this one over. I want to do the grease. Let's see how our venison burger is going. Looking good. Looking good. And at 5:21, we started these at 5:13 or 5:12, depending on which clock I was looking at. We'll let these go here. And it's cooking quite nicely. You don't want to cook them too high, but you don't want to cook them low enough that they boil. You just want to get the grease popping a little bit. And it varies. I honestly, to God, I hate electric stoves. I grew up on gas. Much more heat control. But anyway, you can do this on a campfire or anything. So that's it. I'll come back when these bad boys are done. And we're back. We're at 5:27. So they've gone for 7 minutes per side. And you'll notice they get a little bit puffy in the middle. Whatever you do, don't smash them down flat. It'll take all the juices out of them. So we're going to flip this over one more time just to check. And try not to burn myself here. Looking good. Flip this one over again. Flip this one over again. I'm probably going to cook them for another 4 or 5 minutes. When I cook venison, I don't do medium rare or anything. Typically, unless it's a tenderloin, even then, I just prefer it. Normally on these, I'll do medium rare or rare. Almost steak tartare. But when I'm using game, I like to cook it through a little bit better. And so we got some stuff here. And then I'll probably flip these a couple times over the next few minutes to make sure I don't get any blood coming out, which I'm doing a little bit here. And that's what you want. It cooks it evenly. And so I'm going to flip this one back over. Just how long I did that. And that heated everything up. We'll cook this one over. And you can turn them around a little bit in the pan so they get towards the center. And I'm going to have some oil and grease to clean up. But anyway, we'll come back when these are done. This is taking a minute. So now that I'm almost done, I finally remember to put the splatter screen on. These actually work pretty good. They don't let the splatter. I don't know if you can see this down here. So I'm going to have some grease to clean up, but that's okay. While we're at it, so I don't know if you use this stuff. Why not throw everything in there? So spray away. I don't get paid any money for this. This stuff works great. And it cleans up virtually everything. Oh, while we're at it, while these are almost done, so this is the most expensive yogurt in the world. It's called Reuteri 6475. It actually helps you produce oxytocin, and it's got a great flavor. You have to make this yourself. It's pour that off a little bit there. So this actually helps you produce collagen, and it will put you in a good mood, and it calms you. It lowers cortisol levels in men and women. And this was isolated from mother's baby milk, breast milk. This is the oxytocin is the love drug. And what this does, this will last for a couple days in your upper gut. It's one of the few bacteria that does it, and it'll produce oxytocin. And I usually finish off my day like this. You sleep like a baby. I can actually stand being around people, and it's kind of crazy. So I'll put that with some monk fruit. That'll be my dessert. And let's turn these bad boys over one more time. Oh yeah. I think these are done. We can turn this off, nice and brown. And then it's a popping now. That's usually a sign they're done. So that's it. Let me grab one of these. I'll cut it up for you so you can see it. Actually, I'm going to take this out and let it cool down a little bit. Hold on a sec. I should probably wait on these for a couple more minutes, but they look like they're. Let's see if we can get grab a handy dandy knife. We'll cut this open. Ta-da-da-da. And that's about right. Yeah, I know, you can do them medium rare, whatever you want, but like I said, when I'm cooking game, I like to cook them a little bit through. This one's gonna be perfect. Let me try this. I haven't had venison in a while, I don't know about you. So, and don't forget the salt. If you're doing carnivore, the whole myth about salt raising your blood pressure, it's BS, just like everything else the government told you. Good stuff. So that's it. Have a great day. Thing ran a little bit longer than I wanted to. Actually needs more salt. We're good. That's it. Andrew Anderson signing off. Longer Crowbar and IQ Marketers. We support brick and mortar businesses basically, although we do have some other big companies that we work with. Digital marketing, websites, SEO, AEO, which is AI engine optimization. And anyway, so I'm packing this all in. And if you don't have something that you do for fun for your business, like this other channel, like I do with the Longer Crowbar, you should, because it'll help keep you sane. Okay? We'll talk to you later. See ya. Have a great day. Have a profitable day. Have a profitable week, profitable month, and a profitable 2025. The golden age is here, folks. See ya.